work for a fascist media company.
Go that way, leave.
We're literally away from the protest.
You're not, you're at the back of it and you need to fuck off.
Go back to your place. Go back to your place.
Go back to work for it.
They're faster, they're far right. They're on the far right.
What is the issue? Why won't you speak to us? In all honesty, I did feel very intimidated and harassed by them men. And I feel like there must be a law against that, right? If they're like pushing us, they badge Liz, they're blocking us. It was bad. So basically, these group of protesters, anti-Tommy Robinson protesters, ambushed us. They were like 6'4". They were putting their hands on us. And what harm is he causing? What harm is he causing?
We're not going to talk to you.
Why not?
Asking you to leave.
Why not?
You organised this to ask us to leave.
We're just asking questions here. Why are you against freedom of speech? The police really didn't do anything. It seemed like they took the opposition side, which isn't great. But literally, what have we done? Why are you against freedom of speech? We're not. How are we far right? We're literally asking questions. Why do you hate freedom of speech? We had to take another step backwards away from the crowd. Because we were too close, apparently. Not interviewing anyone. Fabulous. This is apparently a safe space to be at. They're harassing and intimidating us. I feel really uncomfortable and unsafe.
Yeah. So if you're uncomfortable and unsafe, you can leave.
Well, I think it's important that people see alternate sides and we have to
up to us. I had one man place his hand on me, which is battery under law.
They're intimidating us. They're literally
we just want to listen to the
us.
protest.
So if people are saying they don't want to speak to you, what are you doing after that?
Well, we're not. The thing is,
people do want to speak to us.
People are not saying they don't want to
if someone says they don't want to,
they're coming to
we're
our
not
face
speaking
and
to
they're
them.
pushing us away.
We're not speaking to them. We're speaking to the protesters who do want to speak to us, and they're getting in the way.
who is they?
Those ones over there. The ones in the high-vis jackets.
They put us in the corner, just then, and threatened us to leave.
How many people have you spoke to today here?
Well, we're trying to get two, and every time we do, they run into us.
So, how about a suggestion is, you stand and wait for people to come to you.
Well, no one come to us then. I just feel like that's wrong.
Cooperation, because it's in your interest, obviously, and obviously for your safety as well. That's the best thing to do at this moment in time.
Well, that's why you guys are here, to
So at the
protect
moment,
us.
we're making inquiries. So there are two different rallies and marches today in Central London. Both of them marches, I've got conditions attached to them. So if one is affiliated or part of that march or rally, then there are conditions attached, okay? So my colleague is going to go and speak to the commander to identify whether any of them conditions apply right now, okay?
I'm sorry, what was that? What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? So conditions under the Public Order Act have been applied to both marches today, okay?
Yeah.
So my colleague is going to go and make some inquiries and to see whether any of the activities today by either side are in breach of them conditions.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's where we're at. So I'd ask you just to wait a few minutes until we get that decision
I
back.
do just feel like it's a bit crazy though, like we're not allowed to, you do see that right, we're literally just asking them questions and these 6 foot grown men are literally blocking us and preventing us from moving. Like, do you not see the issue with that?
But if you want to leave, that's absolutely fine.
I mean, in all honesty, I did feel very intimidated and harassed by them men. And I feel like there must be a law against that, right? If they're like pushing us, they badge Liz, they're blocking us.
It was battery.
I've already addressed that.
Isn't there a law against that?
I've already addressed that with your colleague. She's over the age of 18, and I will continue to address it with your colleague, but I'm not going to discuss that with you. So would you?
Well, they were touching me as well.
Would you like to wait here and get the clarity from my colleague? Or, like you said, are you going to continue with the rest of your day outside of this protest?
I don't know, I just feel like it's wrong that they're allowed to do that. You understand that, right?
Okay. Have you got any other questions regarding this interaction today?
I just think it's wrong that grown men are allowed to intimidate and put their hands on young girls, well, young women. I just think that's wrong, don't you?
Have you got a question regarding this interaction, like I've just
Well, it's also sudden. I just didn't expect to be treated with such hostility, in all honesty.
Okay, this more sounds like an interview now. You're trying to lead me into answering your questions. Like I said, we're happy to engage.
I'm not trying to. I'm just baffled by what happened, in all honesty. They just kept on coming up, which I'm sure Liz will have the content of. Sorry, what's the issue? What's the issue?
We moved you on, didn't we?
Well, we're going to
just come
continue.
back.
I'm sorry, but what are you doing? It was later revealed that one of the organisers who was intimidating and pushing us had later attacked another man who was trying to cover the event. Previously, if you don't know, we were trying to film with Mr. John Wong, this far-right Asian guy with purple hair. Massive threats, obviously. Are you against freedom of speech? Why do they have a problem with John? What's John done? This far-right Asian man. What a joke, honestly. So, are you at the protest today?
Of course I am, yeah.
Why?
Because we cannot allow the fascists and the racists to march unopposed. So we know they're growing, we need to grow too, but we have to be out on the streets to show there is opposition to this.
Who are the fascists and the racists?
Well, that's a good question. They don't seem to be in any particular organisation like the English Defence League or the British National Party in the past, but we do think that there could be a new formation coming out of this to the right of Nigel Farage, but they're in touch with reform and they intend to build each other because they support each other, no matter what they say in the background about opposing the violence.
Why would you say that Nigel Farage is a fascist or a racist?
Nigel Farage is definitely a racist. Basically, he wants to exclude immigrants and repatriate them, for one. I mean, that's a pretty racist stance.
Would you say diversity is our strength?
Diversity is a strength of humanity, yes, and diversity is a strength in any movement opposing capitalism because it stops, the exclusion. It builds on everybody's, so everybody can come along.
So why are you here today?
I'm here to oppose in no small way, the worldwide rise of fascism, because I believe that the far right thinks that their day is now. It's always been a problem. I think it's important to call Nazis. People like Tommy Robinson. It's not his real name. It's Stephen Yaxley Lenin or Tommy Ted names. But these people are Nazis, and
what makes him a Nazi, would you say?
The total intolerance and unwillingness, inability to see others' viewpoints and want equality. They just believe in a master race. But they're white supremacists. Yeah, they're white supremacists, and they will trample on anyone and everything.
Why do you think they believe that?
It's convenient. It's easy for people. What the Nazi ideology does is focuses on a real problem like poverty or insecurity and inequality, but then produces a lie as a solution. The lie is that, oh look, it's not. Why are there so many more and more billionaires who are now having a disco? Even since COVID and things like this, when people are really struggling, the billionaires are having a disco. They've never had it so good, and to protect their interests as opposed to the common people, most people's, the fairness and equality goes out the window, and they just want to whip up people, saying. It's not the failings of the government. It's not that we have crumbling roads, hospitals, schools, and it's them over there. Look at those brown people coming in little boats. Is what I'm seeing today. I love being already. I know I'm with like-minded people. I'm with people who are into.
You don't know that these guys are actually.
Sorry, me and Liz are obviously massive threats. Us 21-year-old, 22-year-old girls, obviously. But no, apparently that's not allowed. We're the threats, So. Yeah, it is what it is.